What is going on? Meteorologist Steve Fendero here. Man, oh man, are we getting soaked on this Monday afternoon. Now, we did anticipate this, but we got to be prepared for some flooded roadways across town for our afternoon commute, picking up the kids from school, getting home from work, going into work if you're working that afternoon shift. There's going to be some detours around town. We've got multiple flash flood warnings in effect for downtown Portsmouth, Norfolk, parts of Chesapeake, parts of Virginia Beach, Hampton, Newport News. We're getting soaked out there, and we know how our infrastructure is. So when you got rainfall rates 2+ inches per hour, which we're seeing in some of these showers and thunderstorms, they will produce flooding on the roadways here. So these things are soaking us out towards Virginia Beach area, downtown Norfolk, downtown Portsmouth. We're getting rainfall rates over 1 inch per hour, so causing some issues on the roadways. Not raining as hard on the peninsula, but it will shortly. So there is an additional flash flood warning for Hampton, Hilton Village, downtown Newport News, Phoebus, Fort Monroe. Another flash flood warning all the way up towards northern parts of James City County, north of Williamsburg. But Williamsburg getting some heavy rain now. There's some heavy rain stretching across Surrey and Isle of Wight here. This is going to move across the James River and then continue to soak the peninsula here. And this rain is very slow in nature, so to speak, the movement of the downpours. So over the next couple of hours, I mean, we got on and off heavy rain. We've got the potential for flooded roadways, and we've got some trouble getting around town because of the potential for flooding, at least for the next couple of hours here. So those flash flood warnings are up. This is all part of a big stationary front that's just stuck across Hampton Roads here, not moving much. So it's keeping the slow soakers around, kind of slow burns. I would think from now through the evening commute easily, and then tapering off, let's say after sunset or into the late night hours, we only see a stray shower. And then drier conditions expected tomorrow with a little bit of sun here or there, helping temps get to the mid-80s. Only an isolated downpour, though, because that front will be to our north, so limited rain chances tomorrow. But they'll be back in the forecast on Wednesday in isolated fashion, and then more by Thursday, because that front sticks around through Wednesday, and then we could potentially get some additional rainfall from Idalia, which is down in the Gulf of Mexico, and we continue to watch the two systems, Idalia and Franklin. Franklin taking that Goldilocks path in between us and Bermuda, passing us by over like 300 miles by about midweek, but it sends some big waves to the coastline starting tomorrow throughout the day on Wednesday. Large surf, large waves, large risk of rip currents, and then an onshore wind kicks into gear Thursday, Friday into Saturday. That will keep the seas rough and keep the waves rough and keep the rip current risk elevated. So for the rest of the week, it's going to be rough out at the coastline. Fun waves to catch if you're an experienced surfer, especially tomorrow morning and Wednesday morning. But use some extra caution if you're headed to the coastline for, let's say, this weekend, if you got any beach plans. Tropical storm Idalia going to become a hurricane here shortly. This thing really going to intensify as it moves north into the Gulf of Mexico. Landfall, Big Bend area of Florida early Wednesday morning, maybe as a major hurricane. This thing's going to quickly intensify. And then it comes up the coastline, maybe up I-95, maybe staying offshore near the Gulf Stream, and gets close to home here. There's some wiggle room with how far north or south the track will be, and we could potentially see some sort of impact from the system. Nothing in a major way, but it'll be dependent on the track of the system. If it takes a northerly track, it's a slower paced storm. That means a little bit more rain for the Hampton Roads area and breezy conditions, higher than normal tides, elevated tides, almost like a nor'easter, so to speak. If it takes a southerly track, it's a stronger system, it's faster paced, it would be less rain for the Hampton Roads area, but windier conditions because the storm will be a little bit stronger. And then there also would be elevated tides because it would be a stronger system. Either way, if it's a northerly track or a southerly track, the Outer Banks rather, the Outer Banks are likely going to get some form of rain and wind with some sort of coastal erosion, dependent on the timing. It could be Thursday into Friday, Wednesday into Thursday. So something to keep in mind. It could get us with just a couple showers and a nice breeze, or it could get us with some additional rainfall that could soak us in a way. But either way, again, the Outer Banks likely going to get some rain and wind out of that system. But at least it's going to be relatively quiet for us tomorrow with some sun. We could see some showers start to move in later on Wednesday, temps in the 80s, and then we'll keep it windy and breezy on Thursday and Friday. Temps in the 70s, though. The system pulling offshore, at least by the weekend, could make for a beautiful Saturday and Sunday for Labor Day weekend.